Shalom. Let me check the sound real quick. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. All right, we good. Okay, hey, first and foremost, facing the east, giving all praises, honor, and glory be to the Heavenly Father and His Son by way of the Holy Spirit. Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, Sham, Kodash. Those are the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah is the Father's true name. That means He is, He exists. Yahawashi is the Son's true name. That means He saves, He delivers. Kodash is how you say a spirit that's holy or a spirit that's set apart. This is all in the ancient Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, also known as the Lashawan Kodash, the holy language, the holy tongue. Second of all, I want to give double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone who true well and teach well and sincerely taught us this truth. And shalom to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3, men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother Yerami Kazak back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength. Love Yahawah B'Shem, Yahawashi B'Shem, Dash. Pray y'all brothers and sisters as well out there. Keep the faith, man. All right, in these dark times that we're entering into. Okay. This lesson is going to be entitled The Technocracy is Here. All right, and we're going to go into technocracy and its origins and things of that nature. So let's first start by reading the definition. A technocracy is a system of governance where decision-making power is vested in technical experts such as scientists, engineers, and economists, rather than elected politicians. It prioritizes data-driven policies, efficiency, and scientific planning over popular will, partisan debates, or traditional democratic processes. Right? So basically, unelected officials, are standing and running and ruling. This is what's happening, such as the WEF, right, WHO, the Bilderberg Group, et cetera, et cetera. All these different type of secret societies, these think tanks, where Esau has devised and gathered all these scientists to think on how best to control the world. So that's pretty much what's going on. Let's read a couple of these characteristics. Expert rule. Leadership roles are filled based on specialized knowledge and competence rather than political popularity or public consensus. So it doesn't matter about your vote. And furthermore, let's go to the precepts. You should never stranger regardless, man. All right. This is Deuteronomy 17:15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Yahawah thy power shall choose. Now, Yahawah chose what? He chose Yahawashi. All right. And he chose King David. Okay. So it's an order, it's a rank. All right. So that's our king. They're of our nation. We don't, we're not voting for these Edomites or whoever tries to stand in a certain office. Okay. Whom Yahawah thy power shall choose, one from among thy brethren shall thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Okay. So you can't set a heathen nation, a heathen over you, man. So your vote, and it's never truly mattered, right? It's all just a big game to fool the people, So keep that in mind, man. So they're picking these people based upon specialized knowledge and competence rather than political popularity or public consensus, right? So this is why Elon Musk can have a position in the White House. And he's created a whole new department. He's gone now, but he's still, just that right there was a show. He's still pushing stuff behind the scenes. Okay? You got to keep this in mind. That was just a show. And it furthermore exposes the government, showing how much money they was BSing on. How much money they had, which they could have, help the population. They could have helped their economy, but they don't do it. They're spending all this money on themselves. And then Elon exposed all that, but what happened to that money? It got funneled into war. So these people don't care about you. That furthermore should make you leave this damn civilization, man. You should understand that this white man has never cared about you. But if you need more information, more evidence, we're going to get to it. And that's what we do every single day, exposing this devil. Data-driven policies. Decisions are made using objective analysis, scientific evidence, and empirical data. Okay? So Esau practices what you know as pseudoscience, man. Let's get that. And he'll tell you it's not pseudoscience, but this is it. Pseudoscience consists of statements, beliefs, or practices that claim to be scientific and factual, but are fundamentally incompatible with the scientific method. It often imitates the superficial trappings of science, using technical jargon or citing lab studies, but lacks genuine empirical evidence, testability, and rigorous peer review. Okay, such things as saying the earth is billions of years old, when you have certain scientists that go against that model and have brought the earth back to being around 12,000, 13,000 years old due to real science, due to studying and actually proving that the flood happened. You have scientists saying that it's one day missing in the calendar. And we know that was during the time, of Moses, Joshua, etc., where the Most High made the sun stand still in the sky. All right. So science actually proves the Bible. So what you're giving the world with your billion years old Big Bang type theory, dinosaurs millions of years old and stuff like that, that's nothing more than pseudoscience. Okay. Another thing is pseudo is global warming. Okay, or climate change, and all of these narratives for you to push and bring forth this enterprise, man. All right, because that enterprise, right, ties into this technocracy, right? So they have to set up a narrative to bring forth the devices that they want to bring, and we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Okay, don't sit here and play slow. So keeping it going, focus on efficiency. The primary goal is optimizing societal functions, maximizing productivity, and eliminating systematic waste. And they look at, as they said, man, they look at, you're a wasteful breather or whatever, wasteful eater. They look at certain people as systematic waste. They want to optimize societal functions. So it's what you saw with, the dude with the mustache, man. All right. Aryan, they want to create a perfect race. Right. Let's go get the Georgia Guidestones real quick, because this is something that they been had on their mind. Okay. All right. And I want to get it on the Wikipedia so you can read it. Description. Right here. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, which you're not in balance with nature right now. You're never going to be in balance with nature, buddy. All right. We're going to sit here and tell you this, man. It's just not for you. Okay. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. All right. That's what they want to do. Guide reproduction wisely. So telling you who you can mate with, not just allowing you to mate with anybody, that's what they want to do. Pretty much. Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with temperate reason. So this is a big brother system. They want to rule your faith, your tradition, and all things with temperate reason. Now, hey, the NWO is coming. All right. But we understand, it's going to be our order, the Israelite order, which is coming, man. The kingdom, which is coming down. Okay? So your faith is going to be ruled because you're going to have to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. All right? But these individuals, they don't have the truth. So if they continue, it's only going to get worse for you. Right? We're trying to give you a better way of life. That's what the Most High has set up, a standard. Right? Let's get a precept real quick. This is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So are the righteous in authority right now? No. As we're showing you, the evidence where these guys are, they're demons, they're demonic, they're destroying the earth, they're giving you pseudoscience, they're falsifying statements, all this type of stuff. They're not righteous, man. They're full of deceit. They're full of wickedness. All right. And they're bearing rule. So therefore, you are suffering the consequences of these individuals. I don't care if you're not even an Israelite. You shouldn't want these individuals to be in power, man. Your kids can't get the full experience of the human experience. You understand? As long as this devil is on this planet, man. And that's what we're seeing. Let's go to Revelations 11:18. And the nations were angry. All the nations are going to be angry with this individual. And thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, the heathen, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants. Who's that? The Israelites. All right. And furthermore, the elect, okay, the remnant, because that's who's serving Yahawah Yahawashi right now. 2/3 of our people are not serving. They're in a state of confusion. They're in a state of turmoil. They're hating the Most High. They hate him. So therefore they love death. And that thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and should have destroyed them which destroyed the earth. Who's destroying the earth? Esau, Edom, the so-called YT man, right? And along with other nations that are taking on these wicked ways. Look at Moab with their data centers in the oceans. That's destroying the earth, okay? Yeah, we're doing it in the ocean, so we're not hurting the land. Well, you're still hurting the fish. You're still hurt. This is not designed. Data centers is not a thing that we need. The Most High keeps all the data. He keeps your report. But you want to play the Most High, right? Esau and Moab at this point in time, because Moab is prideful as hell. He tried to play. He tried to keep it under wraps. But we know he a snake too. Okay, you can't fool nobody, buddy. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it going. They want to what? Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Now, the technocracy, the totalitarian government, all of this is building up for this type of rule. Okay? This right here, yeah, the Georgia Guidestones was destroyed, but this same mindset is still implemented, man. Okay? You have what you call the protocols of Zion, where the small hats have a certain rulership class, a certain mindset that they are enacting right now. They're bringing forth right now. And that's a documentary you can watch on YouTube, Protocols of the Elders of Zion, okay, where they're telling you what they want to do. And we're seeing it all play out right now. They're controlling sports. They're controlling the media. They're controlling entertainment. They control the food. They're pushing your reproduction. They're changing your kids' hormones. They're changing everything to move in a way that they want it to be. All right. The world is so wicked because the wicked have done it. And then they're going to come forth with a solution. That's order out of chaos. All right. So they want to protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. You're the unjust. You could never be just. And that's the thing. We see our people going to the unjust for justice. That's crazy, man. So hey, especially you women out there, you calling the cops on your man. I saw this video the other day. This girl, she was so deceitful. She said he has a gun. Brother did not have a gun or nothing. So now them cops gonna show up and they gonna probably most likely took him out. I didn't really follow up, but this is the deceit of these women. You going to the unjust who already want to kill us, and you giving them reasons to kill us. That's why, bro, hey, if you wicked, you're going to be joined to a wicked man. You got to get your shit in order first. Don't be out here just laying down with anything, because that could ultimately bring you to your doom, man. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Right? So what are they trying to bring? One world government, one world religion, one world judicial system, a world court. Avoid petty. And like I said, that NWO is coming through Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. Because their enterprise is going to fail, which we'll get in a minute. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Now, it's like, this is like a bad relationship. We have a bad relationship with the white man right now. Okay? You want to date him again? For all you individuals that want to take his chip and you want to take his Neuralink and you want to align you want to continue that relationship? You think he's going to change? He can change. He can't change, man. Let's go to Amos. This is, and our people are toxic, man. This is Amos 1, and I'll start at 11. Thus saith Yahawah, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Both of those words basically means forever, perpetually, and forever. All right, well, let's get it though. Okay, it's the Strong's H5702, and perpetually, perpetuity, forever, continuing future. All right, forever, of future time, of continuous existence, forever, of Yahawah's existence, and Yahawah exists forever, and has always existed. Okay. All right. Duration in the sense of advance or perpetuity, substantially as a noun, either with or without a preposition. It will never end. Eternity, everlasting, more, old, perpetuity, world, without end. So his anger, his hatred is without end. You understand? This devil's anger is without end. Right? Verse 12. But I will send a fire upon Taman. Right? That's the Edomites. That's more so the Germans, which are Edomites, Taman, the wise of their nation, which shall devour the palaces of Basra. Thus saith Yahawah. That's a chief city of Edom, which today would be what? Washington, D.C. Thus saith Yahawah, for 3 transgressions of the children of Ammon, and for 4, as you can see, man, all these nations are getting it. And Edom is getting it the most, but all these nations are, they're on some bullshit. Ammon is what you know as the Chinese. All right. Okay. They have to pay too. But man, these gooks don't like us. Like I just said, Moab, they don't like us. They're deceitful as well. Right. So this NWO, which is through Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, which is truly coming, is going to set the righteous rulers in place and put all the dead, which is the heathen, back in a position of servitude. And 16 nations are going to be taught the laws, commandments, and statutes, with one nation, Esau, Edom being destroyed at the end of that 1,000-year reign. Okay, because we're never gonna have to see an Edomite again. They should be as stubble. Let's get Obadiah real quick. Right, it should be in your heart to want to judge the nations, man. You should have a ruling class mentality to want to bring these nations down. This is Obadiah 1:18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. Okay? And they shall kindle in them and devour them. We are being kindled right now. That fire is being kindled. It's being built up and devour them. Our words is like fire. And the book of Jeremiah tells you we have fire in us. The Holy Spirit is a fire, right? So we're burning with the Spirit. We're burning, man. This is why the elders have been pushing. I mean, you got to stay on fire in this thing, bro. You should wake up with a sense of hate towards this devil how could you not? Are you truly being afflicted? I'm oppressed. Shit, I'm oppressed. All right, I'm tired. You should be tired. They shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahawah have spoken it. All right, so let's keep it going. Prize, truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Like we said, this is a bad relationship. You dated them one time, they beat your ass. You come back again, they're going to do the same thing. All right? For you individuals that are foolish enough to continue trusting in the white man, all right? Ain't nobody going to come calling. Ain't nobody going to come helping you when you crying. He's he's about to kill me. Well, you got back with that nigga. I mean, what'd you expect? He's a murderer. That's what he does. He's wicked. All right. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. Look at these data centers. What are y'all niggas leaving room for nature at all? And it's a law that has been preventing data centers from being built, and that law is about to expire. Okay, I can't quite remember the law, but I saw it yesterday, just searching and being a watchman, looking around. But it's a law. Maybe I can find it real quick. Let me look for it, man. Law preventing data centers. But this is furthermore just showing you that they don't care about nature or regulations. Yeah, I ain't gonna waste time on it, but I know it was a law that was ending that was gonna basically make it where they could do whatever they want to. It'll be no regulations, all right, on data centers. And pretty much, they're in that seat regardless. They're building 40 acres up in Utah, 40,000 acres, Salakia, right? That's massive, man. It's bigger than the size of the island of Manhattan. So these are the things that they're doing, man. And this is all supporting their technocracy. Let's go back to it. So let's read the origins of history, and then we're gonna hit some precepts, and I got a video to play. The concept emerged in early 20th century North America, heavily influenced by the progressive era and the industrial efficiency principles of Frederick Winslow Taylor during the Great Depression. Now, what you hear, brothers always saying is that this is the fourth industrial revolution. This is the fourth, right? And it is, all right? This is what we're moving into. Their enterprise, as the Bible speaks about it as being. And let's get that real quick. All right. This is Job 5 and 12. The Most High, Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, the Father and the Son, disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So they're building up to, they're setting up the infrastructure of all this. They're seeing it build up, but ultimately they're not gonna feast in it. Let's get this. All right. What is it, man? Fill his belly. He's about to fill his belly. Right here. Job 20 and 23. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahawah shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So while he has this enterprise, almost really done, he has the Edomites in FEMA camps, in prisons. Oh, he's hunting them down. He's tracking them down. He's hunting down prophets. The way that he was doing in Acts, because this is the time of Acts again, right? So he's going to be on that level. Being the true devil, got his horns showing, man. And he doesn't care no more. He's sitting back, about to enjoy his meal, which he has prepared for himself. Right now, we about to be put in the oven, for to say, but the Most High is what? He's refining us in that furnace. And that furnace is Esau, all this chastisement that's coming down. All right. This devil being a devil. We got to go through that final challenge, man. And that ultimately is up in this technocracy, this whole thing that they have going. All right. During the Great Depression, a formal movement gained brief traction with thinkers and engineers proposing that societal resources and industrial systems should be managed by technical experts according to the physical laws of energy, efficiently replacing the standard price system. All right. While pure technocracies are virtually non-existent, the term is applied in several modern contexts. All right. So this is what, like we said, the fourth industrial revolution. It's new, you know, but it's something that has been thought about since the Great Depression. It's something that has been thought about because their master plan, they have been building it up and setting it up. And let's get Revelations 12 and 12. You know, they're coming down with great wrath. For you to come down with great wrath, you basically have weapons. You know how individuals say they got their secret weapons? All their secret weapons are being used. Stuff that we've never seen before, you know, stuff that they've been holding back to fight the Most High and the Son. You know, Yahawah, Shem, Yahawashi. So this is Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. We rejoice. Why? Because we know this needs to happen for us to get up out of here. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you. Who is that devil? The YT man. Who is bringing all this technology? Who is bringing AI? Okay? The devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right? Now he has implemented steps over the years going into this technocracy. Let me get something on Instagram real quick. All right, 1 second. And we can go all the way back to, like we said, the media. He controls the media. In 1950, the Rockefeller Foundation was primarily responsible for the decision to change the musical tuning from 432 hertz to 440 hertz. Now, what does that do to you? 440, it hurts you. 432 heals you. As you can see, you know, look at that, right? And look at that. And we was taught this. I went to school for music, you know, and we was taught this in the college. All right, 432 heals you. 440 is what you hear on the radio. It does not help you. It furthermore puts you in a docile state. All right. Okay. That's in German or some shit. I can't read it. But that's a whole nother lesson for a whole nother time. But that's just supporting the point that this devil has searched out iniquity, as it says in the book of Psalms, 64th chapter. Let's get that real quick. You know, and I could quote these, but we getting this because new viewers may not know these scriptures. So we have to bring these things out. This is Psalm 64 and 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. So this devil searches out sin. He searches out ways to harm you. I mean, why else would you do this? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So why else would you change from a frequency that doesn't hurt you to a frequency that hurts you, to a frequency that makes you a sheep? This is why they play, what's a stupid song they used to play on the radio? Just anything, bro. You can go there now, you know, they'll play that song 10,000, 20,000 times, bro. And you used to not like the song. Now it's been played so much, you know the lyrics. You like, damn, man, I know it. You know, everybody singing it. Everybody know it. Like that, They Not Like Us. I mean, it's a good song, you know, but they played it so much. Now you know the whole song, you know, and this is what happens. They push what they want to push, right? But you make something talking about Yahawah, Shem, Yahawashi, oh, that's not going nowhere. You understand? So it's to train the sheep, right? All right, keeping it going, because this right here is a part of the technocracy. 6G will sense human presence, track movement, and monitor breathing through walls. 6G is officially under development, and it has been expedited by Neuro 47 DJT, you know, to get this. And that's what expedition means. They coming down faster. It sounds like they coming down with great wrath, right? It's called ISAC, a new technology being built into 6G networks that allow radio signals to do more than just transmit data. Researchers are employing ways to use these signals to detect movement, monitor vital signs, and recognize gestures. No cameras, no wearable devices, just a signal. Here's how we get here. All right, we'll continue. But as you can see, these are, coming from these 5G towers and things of that nature. These are gonna be like their eyes and ears of this beast system. So they're, once again, they're trying to play the most high. All right. Keeping it going. And this isn't conspiracy talk. Whoa. This isn't conspiracy talk or some far off prediction. 6G is officially in development right now. The same networks that carry your texts and calls are being built to read the space around them. It can detect who's in a room, track how they move, even pick up breathing through a wall. So for you Jakes out here that's talking about you about to fight, you about to fight back, and yeah, we gonna take the fight to the man. Like you in the 60s and shit. We about to take the fight to the man. You don't even know you helping the man by everything that you do. Go ahead and build his algorithm. Everything that, bro, we understand. The only way we getting up out of here is Yahawah Sham Yahawashi, man. Okay. We are vulnerable. We are worms. We are defenseless to this devil, man. Here's the part most completely missed. Every leap, 3G, 4G, 5G, arrived before anyone really understood the one before it. Yeah, I feel like we just got into 5G a couple years ago. The people paying attention early adapted and got ahead. Everyone else spent years playing catch up. AI is that exact leap happening right now. 6G is technology being done to you. You can't you can't opt out. But every wave like it has a flip side, and AI is the one you can use. The people who saw that early are quietly building well. Yeah, we don't care about all that, bro. This shit going down, A 9 to 5 isn't designed to allow you to build. Exactly. We're slaves. Let me see if anything else on this. All right. That's pretty much it on that. You know what I'm saying? So this right here, man, it's like they're using AI, they're using 6G, they're using these flock cameras, these Raven systems. Man, they just put one up literally like 2 blocks, about 2 streets away from my house. I'm like, damn, that shit was not there last week. But now it's a whole flock camera there. And it is, these flock cameras they can track your license plate. You know what I'm saying? They can give you a ticket and all that. When they activate it, you're speeding and stuff, they'll give you a ticket in the mail. So their system is being designed. They have over 90,000 flock cameras all over this America, in 49 states. All right. I got one more, and then we're going to get to the video, and then we're going to wrap it up. Okay, this right here. Advanced surveillance devices set to be deployed into the skies of Compton in the coming weeks. And this was a couple weeks ago. So this was May 31st, man. So this is most likely in action. All right. New advanced surveillance devices are set to be deployed into the skies over Compton in the coming weeks, sparking intense debate among residents and civil liberties groups. So, summarizing it up, Esau, they're tired of this. Esau and other individuals over this nation they're knocking down, breaking down flock cameras, covering them up with bags. They're fighting back in their little way, and that's whether if it be a psyop or it be real, the tensions are being built. And people that are really mad are going to be fooled by certain psyops, and they're going to eventually fight and end up losing their life. That's how Esau is setting it up, right? So I'm going to get this video, man, and we're going to begin to wrap it up. And fair use, fair use.
In most elite political circles, a new vision for the future is taking shape. What we're seeing now is the birth of the American technocracy. We're watching an elected government hollowed out from the inside, while billionaires, algorithms, and unelected experts quietly take the wheel. But technocracy isn't just a Black Mirror, far-off sci-fi idea. It's actually been a political project since at least the early 20th century. Howard Scott, who was the founder of the Technical Alliance in New York, once argued that society should be managed by engineers instead of politicians, people who could use data and science to rationally control the production, labor, and resources of the country.
It's only a question of time, and a very short time at that. Because every new advance on the technical field is producing more and more with less and less. And how are you going to distribute the great production of abundance of this technological complex to a social system that is back in the days of George Washington? That's the problem. And they cannot meet it under this system. The most common fear of the American people is having their freedom, losing their freedom.
Booyah, right? The fear of the American people is losing their freedom. And that's what this devil is bringing forward, man. All right? And I don't know if this individual, he sounds like a German, and that would be Taman, once again. All right? But as they said, as we just read, he brought this around the early 20th century. So 1930s, 1940s, et cetera, et cetera. So this is not a new idea, but it's something that has been bubbling for many decades, right? And now it's coming into fruition, and it's coming down with great wrath, as every other project that this devil has brought. Let's keep it going.
How will technocracy compensate us? Individual liberty. Well, what freedom have you got if you haven't got the economic wherewithal to go with it?
With capitalism in free fall during the Great Depression, some imagined a world where scientists and experts replaced the messy inefficiencies of politics. There were technocracy clubs and even political parties within the US and Canada. But by the 1940s, public interest had mostly faded and never really disappeared, because by 1970, Zbigniew Brzezinski, who was an advisor of people like Carter, Obama, the Rockefellers, and even infamous war criminal Henry Kissinger, revived the vision in a book called Between Two Ages, where he describes the coming technotronic era, a world governed by information systems, surveillance, and technical control rather than public debate. But while the early technocrats saw expert rule as a way to fix society, a new generation of thinkers came along and asked a much different question. What if society isn't supposed to be fixed at all? Then comes the weird philosophy. Like Nick Land, who was a drugged-out 90s British rave philosophy professor at Warwick University, who believed that capitalism should evolve beyond human control with no regulations, no morality, and just pure acceleration. He wanted capitalism to evolve into some weird alien AI god. Land believed that we shouldn't slow capitalism down or even dismantle it, but that we should accelerate it. Land's early ideas were inspired partly by French Marxists like Deleuze and Guattari, who talked about capitalism's ability to liberate and destroy at the same time. But where they saw capitalism as dangerous and unstable, Land basically thought, good, let's make it even faster.
And we can stop it right there. Hit a couple precepts. But the point is, these Edomites, they've been given a spirit, because them dudes was French, and they was going into this as well, and they said, hey, it's dangerous. Right? But this dude, on the other hand, he's like, so what? Let's keep it going. And Elon has said that before. He said, yeah, AI, it could potentially take us over. But the devil, he's like, he like to play with fire, man. So let's go to Isaiah 57 and verse 20. But the wicked are like the troubled sea when it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt. There is no peace, saith my power, to the wicked. So they don't think about peace. They don't think about the consequences. Or if they do, they be like, whatever. So what? A couple billion people died. So what? We just read the Georgia Guidestones, and it said 500 million. Okay, they want to reduce the earth to 500 million. It's 7.5, damn near 8 billion people on this planet. So you want to get rid of that many people? 7.5 people? All right. So the consequences to them, the collateral damage, they don't care as long as they're in the ruling seat. That's why this world is full of, it's no consideration for one another, because the kings of this world have no consideration for one another. They're literally in a power seat fighting one another. All right. The Russians are Edomites. Americans are Edomites. The French are Edomites. The Germans, etc., etc. And America just pulled a lot of their weapons, a lot of their planes, a lot of their, refueling tankers and stuff. They pulled them from their allied nations in NATO, which is gonna bring us to Revelation 17 and 16, ultimately, right? Because you're pulling away your support from these nations because you're mad that they wouldn't help you fight the Iranian war. And yeah, we saw the little peace talks, but we know when they shall speak peace and safety, bro, sudden destruction. So we're not fooled by that. The prophets ain't fooled by your little media circus, man. It's like a sitcom, actually. We sitting back watching it, man. Because you are what? Like the troubled sea. You cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt. You cannot sit still, Esau. That's why out of 250 years, it's only been like 20 years of peace. Matter of fact, let's end it on that. 250 years of America. Let me get that out of there. How many years of peace? I think it's like 29. Damn. The number of years the United States has been completely at peace depends entirely on how war and peace are defined. Strict historical estimates propose that America has experienced only 15 to 22 years of total peace without any military engagements since its founding in 1776. So you do not know how to be peaceful. Damn near every you got Iraq war, you got every 8 years or so you going in, you invading somebody, you going somewhere, you doing something. And now you're leaving Iran, but you already got Cuba set up where you're cutting off their power and you want to take them over. Because we understand, the central banking system. You want to put that banking system in Cuba. All right. Venezuela, Cuba, North Korea, and Iran is the last ones to fill it. You know what I'm saying? So we can see behind the smoke screen. We're not fooled. Let me see if y'all brothers got some precepts. Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Yahawah Shem, Yahawashi, Barak, Ahtham. I see some brothers in the comment board. All right. I'll get that. Isaiah 48 and 22. I can pull it up over here. And same thing. All right. Let's go up a little bit. Verse 20. Go ye forth of Babylon, flee ye from the Chaldeans with a voice of singing. Declare ye, tell this, utter it even to the end of the earth. Say ye, Yahawah Shem Yahawashi hath redeemed his servant Jacob. Does that say the other nations? Does that say he redeemed Moab? He redeemed Ammon. He redeemed Ishmael. He redeemed Elam. No, he redeemed his servant Jacob. Who came from Jacob? The Israelites, man. So this is who redemption, salvation is for. And they thirsted not when he led them through the desert. He caused the waters to flow out of the rock for them. He clave the rock also, and the waters gushed out. There is no peace, saith Yahawah, unto the wicked. Even when they simply could have let us leave Egypt, they decided to attack the weak amongst us, attack the women and children in the back. This is what they are. They're not only straight wicked, they're also not honorable. They're bums. They're weak. They're fearful. These are the weakest, a poor excuse for humans, man. These Edomites. They'll never have honor. So if you out here thinking an Edomite likes you, he's cool, he's buddy with you at work, bro, in the back of his mind, he if he could kill you, bro, he would. You understand? And get away with it, he would. Just wait till lawlessness happens. Your neighbor Bob, he ain't gonna be so friendly anymore. It ain't gonna be no hi. Nah, man. All right. So hey, that's pretty much it, man. This technocracy is here, and it's only gonna increase because these devils want it to increase, and their enterprise has to be built up for it to be destroyed, for it to come to naught, for the Most High to take their plate when they are about to eat. All right. I pray this was edifying to the flock. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor be to Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, Sham, Dash, and double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone as always. Shalom to the Lord's hopeful elect. And Kwam Yasha'Allah, a Baba Ball.